would so proudly wave at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the
Good evening and welcome to the Bluegrass Cup Series live on Wednesday night here at Darlington. Race number 1 of the playoffs, and right now Mikey Neal Jr. on top of the charts with Alex Heff, Mike Peters, Sean Kostritza, and Jonathan Atkins on top of the board. And right now you're watching at number 7 is Justin Winters, right now currently in the 8th position and qualifying in at number 7 machine. Well, tonight it's going to be long, that's for sure. We're here for a long ride. And it is Darlington stage break at 74. And a checker flag will wave on lap number 185. Well, I'm also joined along with me, BJ Duvall.
Oh, what's going on? And stage break. I think I'm saying a different schedule than you are, Steve.
Anyway, David Farber's on the track at the number 84. David Farber in the 84 playoffs. 16 drivers have locked in. Jonathan Swartz, Brendan Holder, GT Hawkins, Keith Hackney, Jonathan Atkins, Alex Huffman, Mikey Neal Jr., Nick Mills, David Farmer, Mike Peters, Justin Winters, Matt Grenier, James Silvers, Brendan Robertson, Jason Bridges, and Sean Kostritza, all in the playoffs. As Travis Twitty David Farmer puts a time down in that 5th position. 10 drivers have gone out in qualifying so far as Mikey Neal Jr., Alex Up, Mike Peters, Sean Kostritza, and David Farber, your top 5. Onto the racing surface now in car number 49. That is Chuck Blake in the Kodak 49 machine, as this is a throwback weekend at Darlington. Also, here's James Silvers at number 17 on the racing surface.
Last night's winner currently sitting on the end of pit road, Keith Hackney. And a fantastic run last night, looking to repeat it here tonight. Here you see the 31 of Blake Hensley rolling out on tracks. He makes his way onto the racing surface past the blend line there. 95 of Jonathan Swartz going to also join him out on track. James
Well,
Silvers will go quick time with a 29.16.
And there's Keith Hackney in Next Level Racing, makes his way onto the racing surface along with Jonathan Swartz in the 95 as he comes to put down his first lap. Actually, his first time lap started right there. There's Blake Hensley in the Lowe's number 31. Long time since we've seen the 31 Lowe's machine on any racing surface, that's for sure.
Yes, it has.
Jonathan Swartz goes fourth quick.
And that'll make the top 5 Silvers. Neil Huffman, Swartz, Peters, GT Hawkins also joining them on the track for Cornerstone Motorsports. Blake Hensley's going to move up to 6th quick.
Coming out and turn into number 14, GT Hawkins. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. We're up there, gets that outside wall.
You know, getting up there, that's playing a dangerous game as he goes 10th quick on his first lap. You know, take Keith Hackney, for example. He ran his first lap, didn't get a counted time for his first lap. He grazed the wall running up there by it. For his second lap, though, he's going to go 3rd quick, strong second lap on his qualifying. He did make the comment yesterday that he switched from VR to triple monitors, so his depth perception is going to be a little bit different. And he's going to struggle for a little bit, but apparently didn't struggle too much as he pulled off a win last night. But Frankie Barroso in that number 12 machine out on track right now. We'll see what kind of a time he can put down as he takes the green flag right there down the front straightaway.
Also, the number 01, Scott Fritz, out on the racing surface. So right now, your top 5 looks like this: James Silvers, Mikey Neal Jr., Keith Hackney, Alex Upman, and Jonathan Swartz. Thank you, Charlene. I'm sure after 185 laps, it'd be sore again. Or,
Sorer.
yeah. Something like that. Broso goes 15th quick in a number 12. And Scott Fritz goes 17th. 18 drivers are qualified in. Well, just under a minute remaining in qualifying.
And our top 5 is going to be James Silvers, Mikey Neal Jr., Keith Hackney, Alex Huffman, and Jonathan Swartz. Going on down. Oh, Frankie Barroso is going to go quick time with a 29.12. Fantastic time for him. It's 0.04 of a second faster than James Silvers in 2nd place. That's going to move Jonathan Swartz down to 6th. And it's Mike Peters, Blake Hensley, Sean Kostritz, and David Farmer rounding out the top 10.
And here is James Silvers. He's 2nd quick in the function junction number 17. Making some extra laps on the racing surface.
With 1 minute remaining now in qualifying, we got 24 drivers on the docket. 18 have put a time in, so that gives us 6 drivers yet to put a time in, whether it be because they're not able to due to late payment or possibly some post-race penalties from previous weeks. We don't know, but it does look as though Travis Twitty might possibly be looking to exit his pit stall here in a minute. He did just pop up on my end in the pits, so we'll see here.
There's Travis Twitty and that number 29 machine sitting at the end of, almost at the end of pit road, as qualifying is going to come to an end here just momentarily. Frankie Barroso, James Silvers, Mikey Neal Jr., Keith Hackney, and Alex Huffman rounds out your top 10 in qualifying for the Bluegrass Cup Series live at Darlington. Throwback week for the Bluegrass Iracing Series. Tonight's starting lineup will look like this for Flagship Motorsports car number 12, Frankie Barroso. And to his outside, Corso Motorsports car number 17, James Silvers.
Line up to the inside from Team Syndicate. It's the number 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. To his outside, Cornerstone Motorsports number 69, Keith Hackney, who make row number 2.
In row number 3 to the inside, Elite Motorsports car number 2, Alex Huffman. To his outside, Team Hyperx and Sim Racing car number 95, Jonathan Schwartz.
Row number 4 to the inside is going to be the Awesome Shops number 96, Mike Peters. And to his outside, Weaponized Motorsports and Cornerstone Motorsports number 31, Blake Hensley.
And row number 5 to the inside to represent Team Watt tonight in car number 46 is Sean Kostritza. To his outside. Out the number 84, David Farmer.
Row number 6 to the inside, the Syndicate number 9, Brandon Holder. To his outside, Cornerstone Motorsports number 14, GT Hawkins.
In row number 7 to the inside, the Shockeye Racing Performance, Team Watt, car number 57, Jonathan Atkins. And to his outside, the Weaponized Motorsports, the weapon itself, car number 88, Nick Mills.
Row number 8 to the inside, Your Name Here Motorsports number 15, Matt Grenier. And to his outside, from Elite, it's the 7 of Justin Winters.
In row number 9 to the inside, the CFM Esports car number 1, Scott Fritz. And to his outside, car number 49, Chuck Blake.
Row number 10 to the inside from Your Name Here Motorsports. It's the 3 of Brandon Holder. Line up to his outside, the High Side Hustlers number 34, Jason Bridges.
In row number 11 to the inside, the All-American Motorsports car number 25, Sean Kaiser. And to his outside, car number 29, Travis Twitty.
Row number 12 is going to be made up from Turn 1 Racing number 18, Dustin Reinstedt. To his outside, the Syndicate number 13, Brian Terry.
And that's a nice starting lineup for here at Darlington.
If we could get a quick reset on the stream share, as soon as you click that off, that went very blurry on me. That's better. They delayed the green flag here to give a little bit more instruction, a little bit more encouragement to these drivers. Just give them an extra second to talk. We'll see if the lights go out here when we hit the flag stand. Frankie Barroso, James Silvers, your front row. Barroso, he's had a bit of a quiet season, looking strong here late in the season, though. And you know, he's made a couple comments that he plans on coming out and coming after it here late in the season.
There you go. You see drivers running the yellow spoiler. They are in the playoffs. "24 drivers signed in tonight. 24. Take it a grid. As they come out, turn number 2 down the back straightaway, the field will begin to tighten up as they be let loose out of turn number 4. Hopefully, they go 185 laps, green flag. We'll get this done in a hurry.
Yeah. Look at that number 8 Mikey Neal Jr.'s run. Man, I am liking that Dale Jr. throwback. I think it looks good. Pace car.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Got it.
All right, pace car's off. Frankie Barroso looking to bring us to the Geico restart zone. There it is. Green flag is out. And look at Mikey Neal Jr. and Alex Huffman pushing Frankie Barroso forward right there. Those guys were ready to go all over the back bumper. Mikey Neal Jr. now is going to slide up in front of James Silvers. That's for the second spot. Top 5, top 6 now. Single filing out very, very quickly. They know it's early in the race. It's time to relax. No reason to push this early here on lap number 1.
Definitely. Definitely. As you see, most of the field, they will get single filed out. And gets a race that's starting to spread out. As Barroso leads, Neal, Silvers, Hackney, Ed Huppin round out your top 5 here. Make sure to vote. Jason didn't say where to go vote at, but vote for your best, your favorite throwback of the week. So I'm just going to assume that's on Facebook. So make sure you vote for your favorite throwback scheme. As lap number 2 is in the books for Frankie Barroso. Pulled away from the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr., James Silvers, Keith Hackney, and Alex Huffman right there. Then you have Jonathan Swartz currently running 6 with Mike Peters, Blake Hensley, Sean Kostritza, and David Farmer rounding out your top 10 here tonight. You see the drivers are spread out just like we talked about momentarily, as they will fan out on this racing surface and be all over everywhere, especially when pit stops start to happen.
Yeah, that is for certain. Let's take a quick look back at the 84 of David Farmer. He just turned the quickest lap of the race when he hit the stripe that last time by the 29.38. And it's only on lap number 4, but to be doing that clear back in that 10th position. That's definitely, there's definitely something to be said about that. You know, you've got a fast car, you've got the speed. It's probably pretty frustrating to be sitting back there knowing that you're putting down the fastest laps of the race. Right now, sitting comfortably and cruising right now is Frankie Barroso. We saw this time and time again last night how effective that clean air is. To be out in the front just allows you to pull away. It takes a lot of pressure off the tires, it seems like, when you're out in the front, and allows you to save it compared to the rest of the field behind you, where you know you're fighting for position. You're getting downforce off the cars in front of you. You gotta play a little bit smart when you're running in the pack and you're trying to save tires. Very abrasive surface on tires. Very aggressive to tear the tires up very quickly. And once again, David Farmer's going to set an even faster lap time, 29.3.
As we're on lap number 7, 6 laps of the books. David Farmer right there running a night. There's Jonathan Atkins now cracking in the top 10. His teammate right behind him in the 46. The black, purple, white machine there. Hurley running at the left. There's Brendan Holder to 9. Gonna look to the inside of Sean Kostritza. He will make the pass, give it to Brendan Holder for that 11th spot. And now GT Hawkins coming around to 46. So GT Hawkins down 12. Sean Kostritza has fallen back to that 4th position. He's off pace from start. Only 2 drivers have lost 4 positions start of the race. That is Sean Kostritza and Chuck Blake in that number 49. Meanwhile, the number 12 is still pulled away from Mikey Neal Jr. There's James Silvers in the 2 of Alex Huppin. He looked to make a pass there. Could not do it. He fell back in line, thought better of it. And Huppin designs number 2 machine. And there's Keith Hackney in the Stars of Stripes, number 69K. And Jonathan Swartz, the iRacing number 95. Right there in the 6th position with a couple wins on the season. And that's GT Hawkins getting out of line there. Looking to the inside of Brendan Holder. He will take over that 11th spot. Holder will fall back to 12th. And while there's Keith Hackney, and now the gap starting to shrink just a tad bit as the rest of the pack starting to close in. Mikey Neal Jr. is 2nd. James Silvers in 3rd. And Alex Huppman round out your top 4. And look at Huppman now to the inside at number 17 of James Silvers. They go into turn. Give that 3rd spot to Alex Huppman. Silvers falls back to 4th. Keith Hackney still rounds out your top 5. Swartz he started 6th, still running 6th. Mike Peters, he has 1 win on the season at number 96. Currently running in 7th. And Blake Hensley in the Lowe's number 31. Currently running at 8th. There's David Farmer in 9th. And GT Hawkins down to top 10.
Yeah, Huffman seen the door open and saw the opportunity to stick his nose in and took it. Got to the inside of James Silvers and took that spot nice and easily. It's not a very easy track to pass. There's definitely something to be said about that. Right now, he's all over the back bumper of that number 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. Who wants to get that clean air on the nose of that number 2. There's a little bit of gap between Mikey Neal Jr. and Frankie Barroso, so he really wants to get ahead of Mikey Neal Jr. and get a little bit cleaner air. Right now, he is right there, right up on the back bumper of that number 8 machine. And while he's there, these guys are all continuing to gain on Frankie Barroso. If he doesn't make that move soon, he's going to have to deal with Frankie Barroso in front of Mikey Neal Jr. Meanwhile, back here battling is the 84 and the 31. That's for that 8th spot. The 84, he's going to get up there. He slides up. A little bit of contact, no harm, no foul to the left front of Blake Hensley. Hensley's going to hang on to the outside and hang on to that spot momentarily. Still down to the inside, though. David Farm, he's going to duck it way down low to the flatter part of the track. Bank change down there. It's not really technically part of the track. The track's all up there above that dotted white line, but the drivers are allowed to use everything all the way down to the yellow stripe down on the bottom, but there's just no speed. It's so flat down there. You see it down on the bottom of your screen. That's the yellow stripe. That's your I want to say pitch stripe, I guess is the best way to explain it. You can't come up above that stripe when you're exiting pit road. But right now, your top 5 continues to be Barroso, Neal, Huffman, Silvers, Hackney. We'll run out top 5 in minutes. Swartz, Peters, Farmer, Hensley, Hawkins. Your current top 10. Look on back through here from the front. Oh, no, we're not in front of the field. The color of that car matches so much to Frankie Barroso's. I'm not even sure who that was, but that was not Frankie Barroso. It was, I think, Brent Holder, wasn't it? No, it's 15 of Matt Grenier in 14th spot.
Nick Beals currently running 16th with Sean Kaiser 17th. 18th is Justin Winters. You have Brandon Robertson, Jason Bridges, Travis Twitty right there to 29. There's Chuck Blake, Ryan Terry, and Dustin Renstill rounding out your field. And as we're on lap number 16, your race leader to 12 of Frankie Barroso. Frankie Barroso being known to be one of the road course hitters here at the Bluegrass Iracing Series. There's Alex Huffman down, made his way in that 2nd spot as Mikey Neal Jr. has fallen back to 3rd. James Silvers in that 4th position, Keith Hackney. So right now, they're all still single filed out. David Farmer's made his way up into that 6th position, up 4 spots since the start of the race. As Keith Hackney goes a little wide, he's going to open the door for the 84 to look inside. Cannot do it. He'll fall back in line as they come out of the turn down the straightaway. Jonathan Swartz in at number 95. There's Blake Hensley and GT Hawkins. How about Jonathan Atkins? Made his way back into the top 10. He fell out. Lost a couple of spots. Now back up there. James Silvers now under attack from the 69 of Keith Hackney. Give it to Hackney for that 4th spot. Silvers will fall to 5th. So since the start of the race, Silvers has lost 3 spots. David Farmer up 4. Jonathan Swartz right there down in that 7th position. Blake Hensley right there in his hip pocket. They got a little gap in this. Jonathan Atkins and Brandon Holder rounds out your top 10. GT Hawkins in 11th. There's Mike Peters and Sean Kostritza. And Matt Grenier rounds out your top 15 here at Darlington for the Bluegrass Cup Series.
Yeah, earlier today I had the opportunity to talk with the driver at number 57 of Jonathan Swartz, currently riding in that 9th spot. And we have a driver. It's Mikey Neal Jr. shoots way low. Got a little loose coming off turn number 4 right there. But had the opportunity to speak with Jonathan Atkins and talked about it, how he wants his race to go, and he wants to be 12 seconds in the lead at the end of this race. Speaking of the lead, just watched Alex Huffman take over the race lead on our timing and scoring. He has moved up into that number 1 spot over Frankie Barroso. But Atkins he's been real strong here late in the season. He made his way into the playoffs, and right now he's really wanting to go after the race win. He's trying to sit quietly as he battles side by side with the 31 of Blake Hensley and that lose number 31. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I got so used to these cars all looking a certain way. Now it throws me off a little bit when I see different paint jobs.
Well, a lot of these drivers just want to get valuable points as they leave Darlington tonight because next week is Talladega. And you know how Talladega, it could be make you a hero or a zero in a matter of seconds. As right now we're on lap number 22. Alex Huffman leading the way here at Darlington with the Bluegrass Cup Series on their Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing. Make sure you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And make sure to chat in that box. Top in your favorite driver with a throwback. As right now we have another battle for the race lead. Is Frankie Barroso now back to the inside, the number 2 of Alex Huffman. Give it to Barroso, taking a point again. Barroso to number 12, back to the race lead. Huffman gives a little squirrely. Huffman, he's going to save it. That's going to allow Keith Hackney to go around. James Silvers, David Farmer, and Jonathan Swartz. Huffman will fall back to that 7th position after that small mistake he made. And now we're 2 by 2 off the turn there. And I'm not too sure that's where Alex Huffman wants to be right now. It's now 23 laps in the books here. As the 12 of Frankie Barroso leading the way here at Darlington with Keith Hackney now in 2nd. Mikey Neal made his way back up to that 3rd spot. Barroso having a good run. He wants to keep it going, but he doesn't want Keith Hackney to win, and it might look like Hackney will want to do a two-peat here. As now we're going to go to the Cricket Cup. Cricket Up Cam. We'll be right back. All right, as the 26 laps are completed in the books, right now your top 2's pulled away from the field. Frankie Barroso and Keith Hackney, 1-2. Mikey Neal Jr. right there in that 3rd spot. He's going to try to outlive his mouth from Monday night. Make sure he can follow the advice he gave. As right now, James Silvers and David Farmer battling for that 4th and 5th position. Farmer on outside, Silvers on the inside. Another battle going on right now is the 57 of Jonathan Atkins to the inside of Jonathan Swartz. J&J's right there as Jonathan Atkins does take that spot, and David Farmer takes the 4th spot. So it's starting to swap up here.
Yeah, they are starting to move around quite a bit here on lap number 28. You know, it's saying it's the J&J's. I feel like we've been saying it all season. It's Jonathan versus Jonathan. We've been saying that a lot this season here late in the season. Right now, Frankie Barroso, though, is getting tracked down by Keith Hackney. Hackney, you see him right there, right about a car length and a half behind Frankie Barroso. He has been... Oh, I take that back. Watch right here. I just heard some radio communication. Here comes Keith Hackney to the inside of Frankie Barroso. He'll take over the race lead. Barroso's going to squeeze back in behind him. Mikey Neal Jr. right there in that 3rd spot. Now not far behind. It is now Hackney, Barroso, Neal, Farmer, Silvers, your top 5. Not sure what the idea was there. Maybe looking towards pit stops soon and playing a little strategy game here. Maybe a little mind game for Frankie Barroso. But he just, from the race lead, radios to Keith Hackney and tells Keith Hackney to take it on the low side.
Well, so Keith Hackney's car stars the straps looking Toyota. You can vote for Keith Hackney by typing his name in the chat. You can vote for Mikey Neal Jr. in National Guard as he makes contact with the 17.
Whoop.
And there goes Mikey.
Cool.
And he saves it. So, I mean, go ahead and vote for Mikey since he saved it. I mean, he didn't mention anything about saving a car on Monday night, but...
Speaking of saving, there goes Alex Huffman again off of turn number 4.
There's Brandon Holder. That's not a throwback. How about Blake Hensley? Put his name in the chat if you think he has a nice looking throwback. Alex Huffman, put his name in there. How about Mike Peters in the 96? There's Sean Kostritz's throwback car. Scott Fritz is the only Scott Fritz car he ran all season long, so don't put his name in the hat.
I hate throwback till about a week ago.
There is the one, or Mikey Neal, you can put his name in the hat. There's Sean Kaiser at 25. Take a look at Matt Grenier's. His is not. Look at Nick Mills. Doubt it. We'll look. Nope. He doesn't have one. Brandon Holder or Robertson does not, but keep on looking. How about the 7 car of Justin Winters?
That's a throwback. That's another Dale Jr. car.
It's the same car as ran all season long.
You say so?
Well, maybe. But we've seen it before.
We have seen it before.
Nick
We have seen it
Mills.
before. I'll give you that.
Ryan Terry. Take a look at Travis Twitty here. Put his name in the hat if you like Travis Twitty's. There's Brian Terry's car. Dustin Rinstidle in the 18. Chuck Blake coming down pit road in the Kodak 49. Now, I guess Jason thinks I remember all the Cup cars, you know, but that's all right.
Well,
I don't see how it can be a throw. I'm going to disagree. How can it be a throwback if you already raced it? But that's all right. We're going to go with it, but I'm just saying.
I do remember him running it at least one time this season. For the most part, he ran a bright pink car, which by far was my favorite car. And he ran a, it looks like Hackney head for pit road.
Oh, he added a new dot to the car. So, yeah.
Oh. They said it is a new paint scheme altogether. Did have it painted especially for this race. But I do remember him running a Dale Jr. car earlier this season, but maybe not quite that one.
Frankie Barroso continues to lead on lap number 36 in the books. 37 on lap number 37 here. As positions are starting to change. The 57 slowing on the back straightaway.
Yeah, drivers all heading down pit road, a whole bunch of them. He's got 29 Travis Twitty. You got, I believe that was the 18 of Ryan Settle there, Kostritza and Atkins both heading down pit road.
Oh, the 8 of Mikey Neal gets turned around on the edge of pit road there. Take a look at it. Mikey Neal, who knows what he was thinking, just came right down into the 34.
I'd say he was overshooting, carrying a little too much speed there and braked a little hard and slid and then got it hooked at a turn in. And when he did, he just found another driver there. It's a little surprised to see a mistake like that out of Mikey Neal Jr., the veteran of the series.
Lisa says BJ Sean picked the pink Superflow throwback just for you. And how about Frankie Barroso way out in front here at number 12 machine as we come to complete that lap number 39 in the books. Everybody has pitted except for Frankie Barroso.
And Steve, rumor has it there was contact between Mikey Neal Jr. and James Silvers that shoved the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. out wide. And that's what caused that situation for Frankie Barroso. Yeah, that he got very lucky there. Interesting Interesting line he took to come down right there. Hitting that banking change, that sudden bank change, makes it very difficult sometimes to keep a hold of the car. But as he comes down pit road, it's going to allow David Farmer to quite possibly have a chance to take over the race lead. Jonathan Swartz is on his way back on the racing surface, currently scored in that second position. You see him right there coming out of turn number 2. David Farmer is coming out of turn number 2 right about now, so not very big gap. Frankie Barroso's just now hitting his pit stall, though.
Gotta wonder what Frankie Barroso's going to do. He's going to just take this some fuel or some tires. But right now, that number 95 is headed to the race lead, as Barroso is now out of pit road, and there is Jonathan Swartz, the new race leader, leading for the first time here tonight, after pit stops had been completed on lap number 40 for all the drivers. So 40 laps completed here tonight. There's Frankie Barroso coming back out in the second spot. David Farmer in third. There's Brendan Holt, and Blake Hensley rounds out your top 5.
And just give a quick rundown of the pit strategies going right now. The calls made on pit road. Jonathan Swartz, no tires, fuel only. Frankie Barroso, 2 tires, look like right sides. David Farmer, 4 tires all the way around. Brandon Holder, 4 tires all the way around. Blake Hensley running top 5, 4 tires all the way around.
I'm going to defend him.
Oh?
Jason. Maybe he has a new... It could be a throwback. I mean, I don't know. Jason's like, shut up, Steven. Jonathan Swartz way out in front with Frankie Barroso there. David Farmer and Brendan Holder. And there's Blake Hensley now cracked into the top 5. James Silvers right now in the Function Junction. Number 17, currently running in 6th. Then you have GT Hawkins in 7th. Mike Peters in the 8th spot. Sean Kostritza in 9th. And there's Keith Hackney now cracking the top 10 in the number 69 machine.
And GT Hawkins in the 7th spot on lap number 43. Did just turn the fastest lap of the race with a 29.11. So far, the fastest time put down, and currently the fastest car on the track. Sitting here looking at the cumulative times across the board, he is the fastest car on track right now, riding in 7th. He wants to charge forward. He wants to get some racing going back up for him. He wants to find some drivers up ahead of him. As right now, James Silver sits right about a second up ahead of him. 84 David Farmer just calls out a pit stop. He's going to be making a second stop here.
Well, the number 2, Alex Upman, he's back. He's in that 11th spot as David Farmer coming down pit road. Maybe he didn't get enough fuel in that number 84 machine. There is Jonathan Swartz in the 95, leading the way. Brendan Holder in 2nd. Frankie Barroso under attack from Blake Hensley. Hensley now will take that 3rd spot. Barroso will fall back to 3rd. As they come out of the turn, there's the 17 of James Silvers. Now round out your top 5. As Barroso now falls back to 5th as Silvers takes over that 4th position. Now here comes GT Hawkins for the 5th position. Barroso, who had led a lot of laps early, now finds himself in that 6th position. And it's probably because he didn't take many tires, BJ. Did he take any at all?
He took 2 tires, looks like right side tires. He got a 9.8 second pit stop. Unless he had a penalty, he did take right sides, but it does not seem to be helping him right now. But maybe in the long run, when the tires start to balance back out, the right sides are the ones that are wearing the most. It means they will balance back out. They will balance out with the rest of the field. But how much time will he have lost by that point in time is the question. And I'm sitting here looking down through, and we had 2 drivers with substantial penalties that came down pit road during that pit cycle, and that is Jonathan Atkins, Justin Winters. I'd say probably David Farmer got a penalty as well, and that was why he had to come back down pit road. But Mikey Neal Jr. currently riding in that 23rd spot. Looks like he's going to call it a night. Chuck Blake is still on pit road from his pit cycle. He currently sits 15 laps down. Jonathan Atkins from inside the top 10 sits in 20th right now, 1 lap down.
As we're on lap number 49, 48 in the books. Schwartz and Holder. Holder closing the gap as they come out and turn. He's thinking about looking to the inside. Brandon Holder is starting to pull along beside him as 49 laps have been completed. As we're on lap number 50 with a new leader, Brandon Holder. Holder up 10 spots and start of the race. A good run for that number 9 machine. Schwartz, Hensley, Hawkins, and Silvers rounds out your top 5. Blake Hensley now takes over that second spot as Schwartz starts to fall back as GT Hawkins to third. And now you see James Silvers passes Schwartz. So Schwartz led a couple laps, now in that 5th position. Frankie Barroso just sitting there in 6th, and Keith Hackney in 7th. Sean Kostritza, Alex Huffman, and Sean Kaiser rounds out your top 10. Kaiser with the throwback paint scheme.
I'm trying to place it. I remember the paint, but I can't place it.
It kind of reminds me of the Wonder Bread car.
Kind of in a way, yeah. Not enough white, I don't think.
No, but I'm just saying, kind of.
Yeah.
Probably a motor oil car. I don't know. But way out in front is Brandon Holder. GT Hawkins now takes over 2nd. Blake's fallen back to 3rd. As James Silvers there in the 4th position with Jonathan Schwartz rounds out your top 5. Schwartz off the pace from your lead pack as we're lap number 53. Rosso right there hanging on. There is Justin Witters. He's a lap down in that 21st position. And car number 7 looking to get around the number 12. Acme Next Level Racing. He led a lap or so. Running in that 7th position, Sean Kostritza. Up 1 spot, started 9th. Currently running at 8th. Huffman has lost 4 positions since the start of the race. In that number 2, he led a couple laps here tonight already. In a Huffman Designs car number 2. Sean Kaiser to 25, up 11 spots in that 10th position. Good run for him as he started 21st here tonight. Meanwhile, 54 laps in the books for Brandon Holder, who's leading the way here as we go to the Crank It Up cam for a couple of laps. As Brandon Holder completes lap number 57, we're on lap number 58. Holder continues to lead with GT Hawkins in 2nd. Blake Hensley rounds out your top 3 as they come out turn number 2 down the back straightaway. There's Hensley in the 31 machine. James Silvers right there in the 4th, and Jonathan Schwartz rounds out your top 5 here tonight. There's the 13 of Brian Terry. He's a lap down. Looking underneath the 95 of Jonathan Schwartz.
And seeing a repeat of last night almost. Everybody getting spread out. Probably the closest two drivers is first and second. You see them right there. Right about 2 car lengths apart between those two drivers. Closest race on the track at the moment. And that is Holder and Hawkins. And really not, the gap really not changing any. Just kind of playing a little bit of cat and mouse. GT Hawkins will gain just a little bit. Brandon Holder will pull just a little bit on the other end of the tracks. A little bit of a cat and mouse game between those two drivers. Not really racing each other. Lap traffic coming in the mix, so it looks like it's going to change things up for them as they both had to dive down to dodge him. Here comes GT Hawkins, the inside. Side by side, GT Hawkins has a position coming off turn number 4, and now give him the race lead.
GT Hawkins, your race leader on lap number 61. Swartz right there in striking distance. There's Blake Hensley in the Lowe's number 31, currently running in third of 5 spots at the start of the race. There's James Silvers right there in fourth, and Jonathan Swartz way back there with Keith Hackney. Hackney in that 6th position, thinking about looking to the inside at number 95. So that's a battle for 5th and 6th on track. Give it to Keith Hackney for the 5th spot as Jonathan Atkins falls back to 6th. Alex Huffman's made it, falls way back to the 7th position at number 2. And there's Frankie Barroso in the number 8 machine currently, or number 12 currently running in 8th. And there's Sean Kostritz. Started in 9th tonight, currently running 9th. And there's Brandon Robertson, number 3. Rounds out your top 10, up 9 spots at the start of the race for that number 3 machine. Meanwhile, GT Hawkins up 11 spots, your race leader, as we're coming to complete lap number 62 in the books, as we're on lap number 63 now. Holder right there, not going to let him go very easily. Holding on.
Yeah, right back to that game of cat and mouse between those two drivers. Just swap positions, but GT Hawkins right now doing what he needs to do. He's staying calm, cool, collected. 12 laps remaining to the end of the stage for GT Hawkins. And, you know, listening to some of the radio chatter, some of the best camaraderie I've ever heard out of this series. Jonathan Swartz actually handed that position over to Keith Hackney. What we saw there moments ago, he radioed to Keith Hackney and told Keith Hackney to take it on the low side. There's some really good camaraderie out of this race. These guys are really looking for some green flag runs, looking to continue what they're doing here so far tonight. GT Hawkins looks like gets up in the wall a little bit. It's going to force Brandon Holder to check up. Look at that gap coming right back to right where it was with that checkup from Brandon Holder.
As the drivers head to turn number 1. You look as they come out turn number 2, how bright the sun is facing down on these drivers on the back straightaway. Now we look off the rear of Brandon Holder's car. You do see the 31 of Blake Hensley. And you can see the sun from the back. The track's all lit up here at Darlington with the sunlight, that's for sure. As the lap car now, that is Scott Fritz. He's currently running in the 14th position, goes 1 lap down to GT Hawkins, and Brandon Holder does get around him. And here comes the 31. Actually, Blake Hensley's closed the gap to your top 3 slowly, but he's doing it as we're on lap number 67.
I think lap traffic has really been working into Blake Hensley's favor to allow him to gain on Brandon Holder at GT Hawkins. These guys have been working their way around lap traffic and doing a fantastic job at it, but Blake Hensley's really just looking buttery smooth as he's just slicing and dicing around the lap cars, not having any problems whatsoever. And look at him right there, less than a car length between him and Brandon Holder now as he's ready to pounce to take that 2nd spot. Laps are winding down to the stage. He is a playoff driver. He wants to get the most points he possibly can here for the stage break. He's got GT Hawkins up ahead, also playoff driver. Actually, Brandon Holder is as well. I didn't think Brandon Holder was, but Brandon Holder is a playoff driver. So all 3 of these guys want to get everything that they can out of this stage to help them here in the first round of playoffs. But one driver that we saw last night in the Xfinity, He's not going to go easy on him. That's Blake Hensley's. He smacks the wall right there through turns. I believe that's turns to 3 and 4 right there. Not 1 and 2. I was right the first time.
As GT Hawkins lead the way. There's Blake Hensley. There's Brandon Holder, your top 3. James Silver's right there in your top 4. And Alex up and down rounds out your top 5. Made it back to that 5th position. Keith Hackney in 6th. There is the 84 of David Farber, a lap down. Right behind Keith Hackney. Now looks to the inside of Hackney. Jonathan Swartz and Brandon Robertson right there. And there's Sean Kostritza running in 9th.
Kostritza told us last night that for the Xfinity Series, his goal was to just keep the car clean. Excuse me, keep the car clean and save his stuff. So far, and it worked out for him last night. So far tonight, it looks to be the same plan, same strategy. He's just biding his time right now. He's not terribly far back at position, sitting in that 9th spot, but he's not real far forward either. He's just kind of biding his time. He's relaxing at the moment and saving his stuff, saving his tires, saving his car, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. 3 laps remaining here in the stage for GT Hawkins. Blake Hensley has closed up on him just a little bit here in that Lowe's number 31. And look at the run. He's going to get off the corner. He's going to suck right up the back bumper. That 14 it takes a look to the inside, side by side for the race. Lead going down into the corner. It's going to be Blake Hensley through the middle coming off. We'll give it to Blake Hensley by about a car length and a half. Holy cow, the run that 31 just had right there.
Blake Hensley, your new race leader. As we're on lap number 73, Brandon Holder has lost the top 2 in that 3rd spot. And there's James Silvers in 4th. And Alex Huppin right there in that 5th position. There's Keith Hackney, who's currently in 6th. So some lap cars between Huffman and Hackney. Then you got Brandon Robertson right there in 84 with Jonathan Swartz in the 95. Currently running at 8. Swartz picked up a win. I believe at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks back, as there's Sean Kostritza right there. And Frankie Broso led a handful of laps here tonight. Currently running in 10th as we're coming to complete lap number 73. Now we're on lap number 74. And GT Hawkins is right there. And I don't think he's going to get it done. But, you know, Blake Hensley, he wants those valuable points.
He most definitely does. Caution flag is gone away. This is going to be the stage. It's going to be Hensley, Hawkins, Holder, Silvers, Huffman, Hackney, Robertson, Swartz, Kostritza, and Barroso. Your top 10. Those are the guys coming home with points for the playoffs, with Hensley coming home with 10. All the way down to Barroso coming home with 1. All valuable points for the stage right there. And just listening to the conversation here, they said Crowbar with the stage win, and Hensley responded with, "That's Prybar teams." Alrighty then.
Yep, he got called out for his rough driving last night. We'll be right back after these commercials with pit stops. Welcome back. Pit stops underway. Blake Hensley leading the field down pit road. Blake Hensley, your winner of the stage at a Lowe's number 31. There's Alex up and getting his service done to his vehicle.
Everybody in the top 12 came down as well as 19th and 20th with Jonathan Atkins, Dustin Ryan settle 13th through 18th. It's going to be Mike Peter, Scott Fritz, David Farmer, Jason Bridges, Brian Terry, and Nick Mills opted to stay out to get the free pass. They'll be lined up behind the pace car. These guys are on pit road. Coming off of pit road now, they'll be lined up behind them until Barney the iRacing flagman tells all those cars, you see them right there on your screen, to go around. And actually, they're all going to go down pit road. All right, so that blows that one clear out of the water.
Yep. Went 77 or 75 laps, green flag. Let's see if we can do the rest. Under 13 laps, green flag. Maybe we can do that.
I got faith in them.
Well, Jason's hoping because, you know, it's $100 per minute past the 10 p.m. mark Central Time.
Central Time. How about Eastern Time? Because we only got 4 minutes till Eastern Time. That's even more money.
Well, it could be. That's true. It got to be 2 hours long.
Darn it. Technicalities.
We know he loves paying that extra $100 a minute.
Tell him it's for a good cause.
So your top 10 right now, as we get ready, the lights should go out next time the flag stands. GT Hawkins, Brandon Holder, James Silvers, Alex Hepplin, Blake Hensley, Jonathan Swartz, Brandon Robertson, Frankie Brusso, Sean Kaiser, and Sean Kostritza rounds out your top 10. Hensley going to make his way back down pit road. And really not a bad call, because the worst he could restart is in that 13th position. Matt Grenier doing the same thing.
A lot of racing here. GT Hawkins looks like he's going to choose the inside for this restart with a lot of racing left. You might as well take the opportunity to be able to stretch your fuel out as long as you can, wait as long as you can for your first pit stop. Go ahead and take that chance to fuel up.
All right, lights are out. We're going to rack them and stack them. I'm killing your wallet. You're killing my throat, Jason. Tit for a tat. How about that?
Hardship fee, right?
Right. Pace car is in. GT Hawkins will lead the field down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is there. We're back to racing here for stage number 2. 79 laps in the books on lap number 80. Next time by, be 105 laps to go, BJ. As they come out turn number 2, down the back straightaway, caution, Jason Bridges. Take a look at your instant replay. Bridges gets in the back of the 49, and the 49 looks like he checked up. Just a little stack up there to round win Jason Bridges. Bring it out, your first caution of the night.
Yeah, it just looks like a case of close quarters racing here at Darlington. Very, very tight track. Will just be ruled a racing deal by race control. Just a bit of a stack up. I'll try to get everybody lined back up as quickly as possible. Get us back to green flag racing. I suspect we'll see some drivers coming down pit road here and take a last second opportunity to fuel up once again here.
As the 14 does catch up to your iRacing pace car. Driven tonight by Granny. Granny in the pace car. She's sitting
That's why it's so quiet up here.
Yeah, she's sitting in Jason Collins' lap. Well, that's the only way she can see. You don't remember when you were a kid learning how to drive?
Real?
Sitting in Daddy's lap. trying to steer that wheel?
Well, I learned to drive sitting on a box with a stick on the gas pedal in a hayfield, so I learned a little different than most.
No wonder you don't have a license.
Oi, that is not why I don't have a license.
Well, our first caution of the night coming out for Jason Bridges in that 34 back Greniers down pit road. BJ,
Yeah.
take it over for just a minute.
All right.
We gotta get something to drink.
All right, so our first caution here of the night where we give Steve a little bit of a break. He's battling a sore throat, so props to Steve for still coming out here tonight. Right now, our top 5 as we sit under pace laps is GT Hawkins, Brandon Holder, James Silvers, Alex Huffman, Jonathan Swartz, Justin Rysdale, Jason Bridges, and Justin Winters all brought it down pit road. Now Scott Fritz is going to look to bring it down pit road. I believe lights are going out next time by for these guys. So taking that last second chance to fuel up, allow these guys to get some good long runs here on their fuel. Trying to change up their fuel strategy just a little bit. It's hard to win a race running the same thing as what everybody else is doing. Sometimes you just got to run something a little bit different. So taking the opportunity to top off on your fuel right here and trying to possibly get an edge on your competition. I like the call. See the drivers coming off of pit road. And you good? Are you good?
Do you really like the call?
I do like the call.
Okay. All right, that's all that matters. As long as you like the call.
I like the call to come down and take a little extra fuel. It's a smart call.
Is it smart?
I don't know. We'll find out, won't we?
Well, let's see. It's time to let him loose, so Jason Collins is going to have to get him racked and stacked here. His lights do go out in the pace car to 14. Look at the restart on the outside line. Brandon Holder to his inside. Row number 2 will be the 17 of James Silvers and Alex Huffman. Row number 3 will be that 95 of Jonathan Swartz and the 3 of Brandon Robertson. Frankie Barroso in row number 4 and Sean Kaiser to his outside. Row number 5 be Sean Kostritza and Mike Peters. Blake Hensley went down pit road, got a splash and go on the racing surface in the 11th spot with Keith Hackney at 12th. Matt Grenier into number 15 will roll off 13th, and Scott Fritz in 14th position. Everybody else 1 or more laps down here tonight.
And GT Hawkins actually chooses the outside for this restart. Real surprised to see that pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn. Brandon Holder waiting for GT Hawkins. Hawkins waiting for that Geico restart zone. You see a stripe across track right there. It is. There's blue marks on the outside wall with Geico in it. Green flag is out. Look at the jump from GT Hawkins. Alex Huffman right there in tow. He's going to take over that second spot. Brandon Holder falls to 3rd. James Silver's now in 4th. Jonathan Swartz now in 5th. These guys all start to single file out once again here. It's time to get back in that groove that these guys were in just a little while ago before the caution, before the stage break. Allow them to all get some extra laps in here. So we watch the fantastic camera work by Steve right here, showing all these drivers just rumbling right up against the wall right there. Most of the field now single filed out. You can watch the top 10 already starting to spread out, giving each other some room mid-pack. They get up there a little bit tight still. Back towards the back, spreading out already. A little bit side by side action going. Looks like, I want to say, right about 7th through 10th. Hard to tell who they are from those angles there, but definitely some good shots.
Well, there's Mike Peters at number 5, currently running a 6. Frankie Barroso in a 7 spot. Keith Hackney in 8th. There's Blake Hensley now getting around to 3 of Brandon Robertson, who hit the wall a couple laps ago. In the 84 is teammate. Right there, David Farmer a lap down in the 15th position. How about Sean Kaiser battling with the 57 of Jonathan Atkins there. Atkins does get around him, and I believe Atkins is a lap down, BJ, in that number 57 machine. Sean Kostritza in the 12th spot. In the Superflow, number 46. Meanwhile, the 14 is pulled away from Alex Huffman, who's currently running a second. Brendan Holder right there, so the gap is... They're starting to gap out, BJ. It's going to be a long run until pit stops, as we're completed lap number 88 here. Just under, a little under 100 laps to go here at Darlington.
Yeah, the laps are starting to wind down with everybody spread out, as you mentioned. We are fixing to look towards a long green flag run unless somebody really makes a mistake. Our top 14 cars are the cars on the lead lap. David Farmer, the first car, a lap down. If we do get a caution, he'll be the driver to get that lucky dog at the moment. Looking off the back, I believe that is GT Hawkins. No, that is not. Who are we looking at?
Alex Huffman.
No, Alex Huffman riding in that second spot. He's got Brandon Holder all over his back bumper right there, that number 9 machine. Brandon Holder is looking really strong right now here on lap number 90. Just all over the back bumper, that number 2, looking for a line to take.
Definitely is. Brandon Holder running a Mustang here in that number 9 machine. Silver's the 4th. Schwartz still rounds out your top 5. We'll look there off the back bumper of Alex Huffman. Now off the front bumper of Alex Huffman, you see GT Hawkins pulled away from him. Look at the gyro cam. There is Alex Huffman's helmet. And I think this is a bad word.
So moving on.
Well, I just said. I don't know.
I think you're right.
Either it says Tucky or I can't say the other one. But
I'm hoping that it says frick instead of what it looks like, because I can see that too. But right now he's riding in that second spot, and he's got a lot of pressure behind from Brandon Holder. Now Holder going to take a look to that inside. I knew that number 9 was quick right here. He's going to take a look to the inside of Alex Huffman. He's going to clear him off the corner. Huffman now riding in that 3rd spot. Brandon Holder going to look to try to track down GT Hawkins. Hawkins been looking extremely strong here late in this race. I'm having flashbacks right now of last night once Keith Hackney got the race lead and never looked back. GT Hawkins' teammate, maybe they shared some notes from the Xfinity Series last night to this race here, and the way Hackney's race has been going, I'm wondering if he didn't forget where he placed his copy. Sorry, Keith.
Brandon Holder in that 2nd spot, now starting to pull away from Alex Huffman, up and in the number 2 machine. It says, F around and find out. Well, I don't know if I want to F around too much to find out.
Yeah, I mean, they say that there's this ratio the more you F around, the more you find out. So you gotta find that sweet spot, and I think right now Alex Huffman is trying to find that sweet spot as he's riding in that 3rd spot pretty comfortably at the moment. He's got a decent gap between he and James Silvers. There's the 96 of Mike Peters riding in that 6th spot. He's had a pretty quiet night, but he's been right there in position all night, in good position. We haven't really talked a whole lot about that one guard number 96 though.
Definitely we have not. So let's take a look at helmet cam. How about we do that? Let's find how about you vote for your favorite helmet? So there's GT Hawkins' helmet. There's Brendan Holder's. Huffman's, I like Huffman's. He gets a vote for me, from me. There's Mobile One. Jonathan Swartz. Let's look back Peters. Well, there's Lowe's for Frankie Barroso. Definitely doesn't match his car. I'll go with it. Blake Hensley. Maybe they swapped helmets, BJ. That could have been what happened.
Yeah.
There's Keith Hackney's helmet. How about Sean Kaiser in a 24? That's the Jeff Gordon helmet going on. Brandon Robertson, just a white helmet.
It's a marshmallow head. I like it. It's my favorite.
There's Sean Kostritz's helmet. Matt Grenier's helmet. Scott Fritz. There's Jonathan Atkins. I kind of like that.
I do too.
There's David Farmer. There's Nick Mills. I like Brian Terry's helmet. Monster Energy drink. There's Justin Winter's helmet. That's all the helmets, so I don't know. I'll have to either go with Alex Huffman or Brian Terry's.
I gotta go with the marshmallow. I forget who the marshmallow was.
Maybe Jason can remember when he pays the person like $800 for most votes for the helmet.
Ouch.
100 laps in the books, 85 to go here at Darlington. You're watching the Bluegrass Cup Series live on YouTube and Facebook.
The laps winding down in a big hurry, around about 30 seconds, just under 30 seconds a lap on average right now for these drivers. So 2 laps a minute, so we're looking right around 40, a little over 40 minutes as it stands right now. If these guys can continue to stay green flag, and the way they're spreading out, we're set in store for a good green flag run. Alex Huffman allowed that number 9 of Brandon Holder to get by him just a while ago, but he has not let that number 9 out of his sights. On back through the field now, though, everybody kind of just riding real calm right now. Real surprised to see it, as right now you see James Sobers, Jonathan Atkins, that is for 4th and 5th. Swartz just riding comfortably behind Sobers right here.
How about Mike Peters in that 6th position, having a good run here tonight. Jeremy Vaughn listening to the birds in the background, singing him a lullaby.
I don't hear them no more. I think Discord filters out more than OBS. That's unfortunate sometimes. Things quieting down out on the track. Everybody giving each other some respect tonight. It's been really nice to see. Like I mentioned earlier, some of the best camaraderie I've ever seen out on track right now. The guys recognizing the speed around them from other drivers, recognizing that they just want to save their stuff. They don't want to fight too hard for any positions at the moment. Just relax and save their stuff, and quite literally just giving positions away to each other. Like, all right, yeah, you're quicker, we'll let you have it for the time being, and maybe that'll change later when if tire wear plays into my favor. And it's worked out for several drivers, and a lot of drivers just keeping their equipment nice, clean. Really impressed with the way this race has gone.
Definitely GT Hawkins lead away. There's Alex up in the 2nd. Brandon Holder right there in that 3rd spot. Your top 3, 105 laps in the books here tonight. As they come out, turn number 4 down the straightaway. Hoffman has his eyes set on GT Hawkins. Hawkins taking the lead, is pulled away. Keith Hackney in the 8th position. Blake Hensley. There is Sean Kaiser. rounds out your top 10 here tonight. David Farmer back on the lead lap, right behind Jonathan Atkins at that 57. Now he looks to the inside. Jonathan Atkins, side by side racing. Out of the turn. Let's see at the line who's going to be for that 15th spot. It's going to be David Farmer. Farmer takes
just barely.
Barely. Well, Daniel Paulus. Anybody knows a good job for Dan Paulus, make sure to give him a shout out. He can be your expert spotter next week. That's Daniel Paulus.
Boy. Yeah. Offers for spotters. Oh, 9 yards. That's pretty awesome. Right now, GT Hawkins, Alex Huff, and Brandon Holder, James Silvers, Jonathan Swartz, still your top 5. Hawkins on a Sunday drive on a Wednesday night right now. Got no pressure from behind. There's Alex Huffman rising that second spot. He's got Brandon Holder, who's really not letting him go. There's about a second gap between them. That's really not letting him go. But Silvers and Swartz has started to gain ground on Brandon Holder. Holder really looking like he's starting to struggle on these longer runs right now. Oh.
Daniel, I will tell you this, if you're watching the broadcast, next Monday night you can come and be Jason Collins' playback analysis while he's adminning, so he doesn't miss a thing. Jason's gonna kill me. GT Hawkins out front with Alex Huffman, Brandon Holder, James Silvers, and Jonathan Swartz rounds out your top 5. Frankie Barroso, he led a handful of laps early on tonight in that number 12 machine. Currently running at 6. Mike Peters right there in 7th. He has 1 win on the season. Well, I mean, Jason, that's the only way you can actually tell if he actually follows you. If he messages you, you know he pays attention and watches your broadcast. So, GT Hawkins way out front, and you know Alex Huffman is chasing him down in a hurry as he's pulled away from Brandon Holder. Holder right there in 3rd with James Silvers and Jonathan Swartz. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there in striking distance. There is Frankie Barroso in the 12th. There's Mike Peters and Keith Happy.
Oh, I'll have to give you the information. I was just giving off, actually. Oh, boy.
Sean Kaiser right there in the 10th spot. Did it come from Jason?
Yup.
Well, is he too scared to tell me?
No, I just can't say it on there.
He's too scared. He's listening.
he said to tell you, don't make you come up here in the booth.
Jonathan Swartz, first driver to go down pit road.
Check your messages. Check your messages. But Swartz and Winters, you mentioned on pit road. And looks like Winters has actually called it a night. Never mind, he has not called it a night. He's not made it to his pit stall yet. But GT Hawkins, Huffman, Holder, Silvers, Barroso still continuing to remain your top 5 drivers. Biggest movers of the race. We got Hawkins up 11. You got Robertson in 9th up 10. And you got Kaiser matching GT Hawkins up 11 in that top 10 spot. Another driver called out a pit stop. I missed who that was, but we'll catch him here momentarily. Brian Terry, yeah, I can talk. Brian Terry calls out his stop, and Jonathan Atkins will be coming down this time as well. 13 cars remaining on the lead lap. 14th on back, all a lap down. You can see the top 3 on your screen right now. take that back. That is not your top three. That is third, fourth, and fifth on screen.
Now you can see the gap between second and third there. Now Huffman coming down pit road along with Brandon Holder. GT Hawkins stays out. James Silvers and Frankie Barroso. So those three drivers down pit road with Jonathan Atkins and Justin Winters. Now here comes GT Hawkins for his pit stop on lap number 118. As they come down to get some rubbers.
And that'll hand the race lead over to Keith Hackney. Blake Hensley will take second. Scott Fritz will take third till they make their pit cycle. See how the pit stops go for these guys coming that are on pit road. Hensley calls out his pit stop. He'll be coming down this time along with teammate Keith Hackney. Scott Fitz, Matt Grenier haven't heard anything from their teams yet to make their way on pit road. David Farmer now making his way on the pit road. Scott Fritz will take over the race lead. Now Dustin Reinstedel in the 18 from 14th will be coming down this time. It's also pit stops all over the board. Strategies calls all over the board. We had that caution right after the stage break. That changed things up for several of these drivers for pit stops. Here comes Scott Fritz this time by. Will be making his way down pit road. You see Alex Huffman right there. He's making his way around the 15 of Matt Grenier, trying to regain his lap as quickly as he can. Scott Fritz, the current race leaders on pit road. Here's Alex Huffman by. He does take his lap back. He's now one of five drivers rather, currently scored on the lead lap. Once Matt Grenier makes his way down pit road, let's see more drivers making their way back onto the lead lap. But until then, it is Grenier, Fritz, Hawkins, Swartz, and Huffman, your top five on the lead lap. And as I say that, James Silvers, Brandon Holder, Frankie Barroso make their way back to the lead lap as Matt Grenier now heads down pit road.
Grenier down pit road, so after pit stops complete, GT Hawkins will take it over. And Jeremy Vaughn, that is not true, because a kitty cat could have ate the mouse. Just saying.
Well,
there. I mean, you know, you ever see those vanishing tattoos? GT Hawkins now your race leader. Jonathan Swartz, Alex up, and James Silvers and Brandon Holder rounds out your top five after pit stops. Barroso in the sixth position with Peters Hensley right there. There. No. You got 18 thumbs up, Jason. You got 18. GT Hawkins is pulled away from the 95 of Jonathan Swartz. Alex Huffman in third in that number 2 machine. Had an early mistake after leading a couple laps. Fell back. Now in the top 3. Silver's right there in fourth. There's Brandon Holder. Rounds out your top 5.
And then going on back, you got Frankie Barroso, Blake Hensley, Mike Peters, Keith Hackney, Sean Kaiser, your top 10. And then the final drivers on the lead lap is going to be Brandon Robertson, Scott Fritz, Sean Kostritza, and Matt Grenier. From 14th of Jonathan Atkins on back, all a lap down or have called it a night. Thing you never want to do. You never want to have to call it a night early. It always sucks to have to call it a night early. But,
it really sucks if Peyton Hubbard gets in trouble for fraud.
Uh-oh. Where'd that one come from?
His alternate accounts.
Oh dear.
And please don't hit the thumbs up if you're the Peyton Gigolo. one. It just won't work here, Peyton. But let me tell you, right now, this race, they're all strung out after pit stops. And most of these drivers want to get a good points finish tonight because they head to Talladega next week. And it's anybody's game when they head to Talladega. So a lot of these people like GT Hawkins, Jonathan Swartz, Alex Up, they want their name on that winner's list so they can advance to the next round. We heard from James Silver's teammate last night, Radburn Shutters. He's not going to play it easy. Well, Peyton, it's just, I just know. I mean, I just... Yep, JT Hawkins out front. That is for sure. In the number 14, Jonathan Atkins right there at second. There is Alex Hupp, but they're all strung out. And then you have James Silvers and Brandon Holder.
There you go. 25 likes.
That's awesome now. Now, Jason can go to bed. As soon as it gets off the chat, they're all going to take their thumbs up away.
Whew, whew. That'd be cold, Justin. There's coming down pit road now. GT Hawkins continues to lead, but Jonathan Swartz turns his personal best lap of the race with 29.3. He's moving right now. Alex Huffman actually tied him. Blake Hensley turned his personal best back in 7th position. He's ready to rock and roll and get moving forward. There's nearly a 2-second gap from first to second. Right about a half a second from Jonathan Swartz to Alex Huffman at second and third. You see them both right there on the screen. And then looks like right about 0.3 of a second back to Brandon Holder from James Silvers to Brandon Holder. That's 4th and 5th.
Well, you know, if I could tell you this, I got a job for Daniel Paulus. If you're watching, you come in next week, you could be the YouTube analysis director in the chat. There you go, Jason. I got him a job. GT Hawkins way out in front on the Sunday drive. Swartz right there. Let's go further back in the field. Why not? There is Brian Terry's number 13. He's currently running in that 19th position. Up 5 spots since the start of the race. Nick Mills in the 88 machine, the National Guard. You want him to win the throwback scheme, make sure you put his name in the chat, Facebook or YouTube, or contact Brian Paulus. Let him know. He will tally the votes for you. There's Dustin Renstittle in that 17th spot there, as he allows the 25 of Sean Kaiser to get around. David Farber ran up front a lot tonight. He's in that 16th spot now, in the 84. Right behind Jonathan Atkins, who's currently running in the top 15. Matt Grittier in 14th in the number 15 machine. There you got Sean Kostritza in 13th in the number 46. Scott Fritz in the 1. Running 12th, there's Brandon Robertson in the number 3. Running in 11th, and there's Mike Peters. Oh, Nelly. That was the 18 of Dustin Renstittle. Got up against that wall a little too close to it. Tried to throw some sparklers and snakes and shot him down. Sean Kaiser in at 25, currently running at 9th. There is Keith Hackney. Having a good run early was Blake Hensley. Led a couple laps, currently running at 7th. Frankie Broso led a handful of laps, currently running at 6th. There's Brenton Holder and James Silvers there. That is for 5th and 4th on the board. Jonathan Swartz in 95. He led a couple laps. And there is the 2 of Alex Huffman. Up and coming off the turn there.
GT Hawks continuing to lead the wins. We're 135 laps in the books, 50 to go. As we work our way off turn number 4 with GT Hawkins still leading the way. Make that 49 laps to go. Slaps winding down in a hurry. Hawkins and Huffman running such different lap times. Hawkins has done such a fantastic job since he got up the race lead to save his tires and maintain consistently quick pace up there in the race lead. You know, I touched on it earlier in the race. It's incredible the difference that it makes to be in that clean air to save your tires. And right now, GT Hawkins is proving that as he continues to pull away. 3.7, I'll make it 3.8 seconds ahead of Alex Huffman, ahead of the rest of the field. Jonathan Swartz about a second back from Alex Huffman. The field really getting spread out. Seems to be the pattern here this week. The drivers all get spread out, getting good green flag runs, and it's not something that I'm really used to at Darlington.
Right. Here's GT Hawkins. He's smiling down on you. From Columbus, Ohio, your race leader here at the Bluegrass Cup Series at Darlington, as we're on lap number 139, as we're going to throw it down to the crank it up cam for a couple of laps. Here's GT Hawkins. This passes the start-finish line. As you see, Alex Huffman coming right there, passes the start-finish line. And Jonathan Swartz. That is your top 3 here at Darlington. As we're on lap number 142, 141 laps in the books. Huffman doing a good job of 3 spots to start the race. Currently running in that 2nd spot here.
Just looking over scoring our biggest gains and our biggest losers of the race. GT Hawkins up 11 spots. Sean Kaiser in 9th, up 12 spots. Biggest losers of the race will be Mikey Neal Jr. back 20 spots in 23rd position. Looking at the times between Hawkins and Huffman right there. Hawkins is consistently right about 2/10 faster than Alex Huffman. Staying very consistent, very quick. That time by Huffman a little bit closer in time, but still 4 thousandths of a second slower than GT Hawkins. Looking at the pit strategy, we know they can go about 40 laps on fuel right at this moment. That we're sitting right about 25, 26 laps for our top 5 drivers. So at that, about 15 more laps where they got to come down. So we're looking right around lap number 160. See, right around lap 160 for these guys to come down pit road and make their final pit stops.
There is Blake Hensley currently running at 8th in that number 31 machine. Trying to chase down Keith Hackney, who's directly in front of him. GT Hawkins continues to lead. As you see the 49, he's looking to come down pit road. That is Chuck Blake. Chuck Blake in the 49 Kodak machine tonight. Coming down pit road. Or he might be just getting out of the way, getting that low. How low can you go? And there's that awesome number 2, Huffman Designs number 2 machine right there. That is Alex Huffman running in second. Jonathan Swartz right there flirting with the outside wall. And how about Barroso now making his way back into the top 4? James Silver sitting in 5th. And let me tell you, pit stops have got to make you or break you here.
Yeah, they most definitely are. Knowing these guys can go 40 laps on the fuel. Surprised to not see anybody take the early pit stop strategy and try to come down right around now and try to make some ground up on these guys on older tires right now before they make their way down pit road. I think it'd be a good call, but at the same time, you don't want to go down too early because you get that ground made up, then you level out, and they go down, get their pit stop, and come flying back around you. So it's definitely a bit of a catch-22 and a massive gamble if you do take that option. So we watch GT Hawkins right now. He's going to take the look to the inside of Matt Grenier, the driver currently sitting in that 14th position, looking to make him a lap down. But Grenier is going to pull ahead, and you know what? What I was just talking about, we just had James Silvers call out his pit stop. He'll be coming down this time.
James Silvers, you see him right there in the function junction number 17, coming down for his final stop of the night as lap number 149 completed in the books as we're on lap number 50. So when the 14 crosses the start finish line, it'd be 35 laps to go here at Darlington as GT Hawkins completes lap number 150 as we're on lap number 151.
$35 laps to go. GT Hawkins continues to lead the way. One more pit stop ensues for him. Jonathan Swartz making his way down. He's taking an early pit stop strategy as well. Right now it is Hawkins, Huffman, Barroso, Holder, Hackney, your top 5. It's going to be Hensley, Kaiser, Peters, Fritz, Kostritzi, your top 10. And there's only 10 cars left on the lead lap once GT Hawkins makes his way around Matt Grenier.
Frankie Barroso, and right there in that 3rd spot right behind him is that David Farmer, who's a lap down, and you got the 17 around bringing out the caution. He's going to get the Boo-Boo Award. That's James Silvers in that 17 machine.
Oh, no. Jonathan Swartz now is going to get mired a lap down. We watch right here. James Silvers just loses it off the corner. This is going to be the time for the money stop. It's time for everybody to come down pit road. But a lot of angry people out of that one, and a lot of speculation from some of the drivers on that caution from the 17.
Well, as you look at GT Hawkins, Alex Upper, Frankie Barroso, Brandon Holder coming down pit road to make their final stop of the night. There's Hackney, Hensley, and Kaiser. You got one right there. I believe that's Keith Hackney sitting sideways across the entry of pit road. Mike Peters coming down now. Sean Kostritza, that kind of saved him though. Sean Kostritza's not going a lap down. There's the 15. He's going to get his lap back. Matt Grenier.
31 laps remaining once GT Hawkins makes his way around, hits the stripe. We come back to green. Should be lap number 157, I do believe. We'll be under 30 laps to go at that point. Currently on pit road, Grenier making his way down. Hensley on his way out. Peters on his way out. Ryan Settle, Mills, Terry on their way down pit road.
So Matt Grenier, I don't know, BJ. Oh, he didn't get to come down pit road because did he get a wave around?
Not real sure. Trying to watch timing and tell for sure, but I ain't sure.
You're never sure.
You're right. Really not. And you get paid more so I could be sure. Jason, I need a raise.
Well, you might have to talk to Daniel Paulus. He might be taking some of your money.
Oh.
You know, those expert admin analysis, they make a lot more.
Hey, wait a minute. I've done this for 3 years. Or done that for 3 years.
Expert analysis for admins?
The whole admitting thing.
But you haven't been an expert.
Okay, I'll give you that.
He's an expert. And Jason needs an expert.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the pace car. Granny sitting on Jason's lap steering the wheel. I'm just waiting for that pace car to make a right-hand turn and a left-hand turn any minute. As long as she keeps her wig on her head and not wave it out the window, we're going to be okay. I just know it. Lights are out. We're racked and stacked. We're fixing to go back to green flag action. Does the 2 have anything for the 14? Or will Frankie Barroso get a good ending run here as we come to the Geico restart zone? Green flag is in the air. Hackney gives the 14 a bump in the rump and a good push there. As GT Hawkins to the race lead, Hackney now looks to the outside of the 2 of Alex Huppin. They're side by side for second. Give it to Keith Hackney.
Hackney in that second spot now and looking to track down teammate GT Hawkins right up ahead. Hackney, last night's winner, wants to do it again here tonight. Huffman, though, doesn't look like he's ready to let Hackney go. Took a quick look to his inside right there. Now taking a peek to the outside. He's not going to be able to do it.
Ooh, you look at 6'9". You looking kind of a little loose there off that turn.
He definitely did look just a little wobbly coming off, but he's holding on to it. He's doing all right at the moment, trying to track down GT Hawkins.
Frankie Barroso right now in 4th. There is Sean Kaiser rounding out your top 5. Brendan Holder in 6th. There's Blake Hensley in 31 in 7th. Scott Fritz and Sean Castrissa and Jonathan Swartz. Reynolds out your top 10. Swartz at number 95. The Iracing number 95 gets around to 18. 18 got a little loose up there against that wall. Meanwhile, the 14 of GT Hawkins continues to lead as he's starting to pull away from Keith Hackney. He started to pick up where he left off when we went under caution. 26 laps to go for GT Hawkins. Hackney right there with Alex Huffman. And, right now I'm trying to visualize who I want to interview when we go to post-race interviews, and I think BJ, I'm going to choose GT Hawkins.
Well, all right. You know, I guess GT Hawkins and Alex Huffman, so I'll take Keith Hackney.
So you're going to take Keith Hackney and Alex Huffman.
All right. Right now, GT Hawkins continuing to lead. Hackney now starting to pull away from Huffman just a little bit there. It looked like Huffman might have got up into the wall, but no harm, no foul. He's going to hang on to it and keep racing.
As it comes, oh, Nelly, he got a little loose off a turn before the number 2 of Alex Huffman. 24 laps to go for GT Hawkins. And you better watch out because Keith Hackney is now in overdrive, now starting to try to close that gap as they head out turn number 2 down the back straightaway. First, second, and third are pretty much even in gaps right now as they head into turn number 3. Frankie Barroso in that 4th spot, closing in on the number 2 of Alex Huffman, who had to mistake a lap earlier ago. There is Sean Kaiser holding off Brandon Holder in 5th. Brandon Holder right now in 6th. Kaiser in that 5th spot, up 16 spots in the start of the race. Blake Hensley right there in 7th. There is Scott Fritz. Fritz under attack from Jonathan Atkins, who's a lap down. Atkins to the inside of Fritz. Fritz going to let him go. And there's Sean Kostritza. Kostritza running in 9th in that number 46. And there's Jonathan Swartz. Rounds out your top 10.
As laps are winding down, just 22 laps remaining. Things are starting to get a little bit dicey for some of these drivers, but 2 drivers, I got 3 drivers that are free and clear at the moment. It's GT Hawkins, Keith Hackney, and Alex Huffman in that 3rd spot now, starting to pull away from Frankie Barroso a little bit. But, you know, Huffman has been, he's been strong, he's been fast all night long, but then he's had his moments where he's made his mistakes. We saw it just a little bit ago. It cost him a lot of time between he and Keith Hackney. Right now, he's showing his speed once again. He's starting to pull away from Frankie Barroso right there. Barroso. Man, he was so fast early on in the race after qualifying pole. Looking forward to seeing if he's got anything here as the late race starts to wind down.
As we're at the butt kicker, 20 to go for GT Hawkins. In that number 14 machine, 20 laps to go. And you know, Jason Collins is like telling everybody, get in line, don't bring out the yellow. He don't want to pay the extra $100 per minute.
Whoa.
After 10 p.m. Central Time. There's Keith Hackney, and BJ, I'm going to say, I venture to say, as we fix a look at the time, I believe Hackney has been slower the last 3 laps, so he's losing ground to GT Hawkins.
He has, in fact. Hawkins is doing what he's been doing a lot here later in the race and just starting to pull away and secure that race win little by little. We're 12 minutes to the top of the hour, 18 laps to the end of the race. Looking right about 9 minutes to finish this race out. GT Hawkins has it all but in the bag at the moment, unless Keith Hackney can start to figure it out and reel him in. You see the times right there. Hackney faster than Huffman as well. And look, there's something going on with that number 14. Look at the speed change between those 2 drivers. Hackney reeled Hawkins in tremendously down the front straightaway just a moment ago.
He definitely did. He's making it. He's reeling them in, BJ. He wants the win like he did last night. There's the 2 as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Coming to 16 laps to go here. Atkins into the outside wall. Jonathan Swartz flirting with it there. There's Hawkins in the 14 up against that wall. Makes another mistake. There is the 69 of Keith Hackney. You know, when Keith Hackney smells blood, he's ready to pounce. And that's something he's doing right now. His next level racing car number 69. He wants his name in the books when they go to Talladega next week.
He definitely wants to get himself locked in. Every driver out here wants to get himself locked in with GT Hawkins right now, proving that he wants to do it more than anybody else, as he is just absolutely flying, with Hackney in second, Huffman in third, Barroso fourth, Kaiser rounding out the top five, Holder, Hensley, Fritz, Swartz, Kastritzi your top 10, and Matt Grenier rounding out your 11 drivers. 11 drivers, Steve. That's all that is left on the lead lap here on lap 172.
Yeah, 11 drivers. So that tells you how much of good. I mean, it hasn't been a lot action-packed, but I mean, they've been going green just with a couple of cautions all night long. So the field gets strung out, and, you know, started with 24, 11 on the lead lap. Atkins, the first one, a lap down in that 12th spot in the 57 machine. Gotta wonder, let's take a look at Jonathan Atkins' car. There is the yellow spoiler, so he's in the playoffs in that 57 as he has one win on the season. Sean Kastritz is in the playoffs, so he wants to stay in the top 10 there to get some good points going into Talladega next week. Meanwhile, 12 laps to go for that number 14, and now he's starting to pull away once again from Keith Hackney.
Yeah, Hawkins extremely fast right now. As you just mentioned, only 12 laps remaining. You see the times right here. Looks like a little bit of a cat and mouse looking at the color, but then looking at the time. Hawkins is consistently way faster than Hackney. Lap one. Well, this is Hackney to Huffman right here. You can see they're a little bit back and forth, but Hawkins to Hackney. Hawkins is really just on a tear right now. 11 laps remaining now. Top five, no changes. Still Hawkins, Hackney, Huffman, Barroso, Kaiser.
Well, you know, you say they're playing cat and mouse. Hackney wants to swallow the mouse whole here at Darlington, as Hawkins was quicker that lap too. So last two laps, Hawkins has been quickest out of your top two as they come out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway here with 10 laps to go. As you look at Keith Hackney right there, off paces a tad bit from GT Hawkins. Let's see how this lap turns out. Hackney slower again for the third lap, BJ. That's not what Hackney wants if he wants to pick up this win.
I definitely not what he's wanting, but I don't think Hackney's going to have anything for GT Hawkins to clean air. Just been so dominant here all week long. Once again for GT Hawkins, it reigns the same. Huffman trying everything he can to try to reel in Keith Hackney and take in that second position, but it's just not quite working for him.
8 laps to go for your race leader, GT Hawkins. There's Hackney right there. There is Huffman, your top 3. And let's look if we could go to the blimp cam. And you also see in that screenshot the 12 of Frankie Barroso, who's currently running in 4th. So there's your race leader, and there is Keith Hackney. And there is Alex Huffman. So Huffman's a little bit closer to Hackney than Hackney to GT Hawkins. Take a look at your time delta here. Huffman been quicker than Hackney the last 4 laps. So actually make it 5 laps with 6 laps to go. Huffman might be able to get that second spot away from Hackney. There is Brandon Holder currently running in that 7th position. The BK Designs number 9 machine up there against the outside wall. Scott Fritz lap down early, back in that 8th position with Jonathan Swartz right there in the 17, who's a lap down. That is James Silvers. There's Sean Kostritza, currently in 10th. Having a fantastic job here tonight. Matt Grenier in 11th. There's Jonathan Atkins in 12th. Brandon Robertson in 13th. There's David Farmer in 14th. James Silvers rounds out your top 15 drivers. Meanwhile, GT Hawkins continues to lead with 4 laps to go. Caution on the raceway. Oh no. Take a look at this. Going to the inside. Contact between first and second. And around goes Alex Huffman. It's going to be a green-white checkered here.
A relatively clean race. Only a couple of cautions in between Huffman and Hackney. The caution flag does, in fact, wave. 2 drivers just fighting so hard for position. And the caution flag flying, and we're heading to overtime.
Well, that's going to allow the number 12 of Frankie Barroso to move up to that 3rd position. How about Sean Kaiser up 17 spots, currently running in 4th. Blake Hensley made his way back into the 5th spot after the 2 and the 69 getting into it. Want to talk about chaos. Chaos is now happening on the track as Alex Huffman now making his way down pit road in that number 2 machine. Excitement fixing to flare up here when we go back into overtime.
Huffman, Swartz, Fritz, all down pit road. That's 9th, 10th, and 11th on the charts now. You see Fritz on his way out. GT Hawkins, he's been able to hang on to it under green flag. He's got to get the jump over his teammate Keith Hackney to be able to continue to hang on to it. We'll have just 2 laps to go and we go back to green. Steve, when we hit the stripe right here, we would be on the white flag if we were green flag right now.
Definitely we would. So now, we don't have to worry about fuel because we're good on that. It's been 30 laps since they last pitted. Gotta wonder about if Keith Hackney has any damage to that car when we go back to green flag racing. Between the contact, him and Alex Huffman. Huffman back on the racing surface in that 12th position. In that number 2 machine, Jonathan Atkins down pit road in 11th. Sean Kostritza in 7th right now when we go back to green flag racing.
Yeah, Kostritza once again quietly working his way forward. Last night rolled off with a top 5 and wanted to do it again here tonight. Just 2 laps to do it, 2 spots to make his way inside the top 5. And Steve, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that he is the only driver in Bluegrass right now that has made the playoffs in all 3 series.
True. That is true. That is a definite true. The fact checker says yes. That's both confirmed with Fox News and CNN.
Oh dear. Must be a lie.
Well, at least they agree on it, okay?
Okay, well, if they both agree on it, then okay,
Has to
we'll
be
we'll
true.
say it might be true. Yeah. If they both agree on it, because 99% of the time they disagree with everything that's said.
All right, the lights are out. We're racked and stacked. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the restart you've been waiting for. It's the stars and the cars of the Bluegrass Cup Series as we are fixing to go into overtime. Green, white, checkered. They are doubled up. Or the action is attraction. Here at the Bluegrass Cup Series.
Hawkins outside for this restart. Hackney inside. Barroso. Kaiser row 2. Pace cars in. Hawkins bringing us to the Geico restart zone. Here in just a moment, you see the blue on the wall, the stripe on the inside. There it is. Green flag is out. Hawkins on the loud pedal, and he's going to bring Keith Hackney along with him. Side by side for the third spot. That's Frankie Barroso. He's going to take over the position. Blake Hensley's going to fight for the fourth spot now as he's side by side with Sean Kaiser.
Definitely is ahead into turn number 3. Hardly the distance between first and second coming to the white flag. One more to go for GT Hawkins and that 14 machine. The final time, the next one. If the caution flies, the race will be over. And BJ, he is pulled away from Keith Hackney out of turn number 2. Frankie Barroso closing in on your second place. Looks to the inside as they head into turn number 3. Barroso side by side. Hackney runs up against the wall, makes some contact there. That's going to allow Frankie Barroso get a run on the bottom. GT Hawkins will pick up the win here at Darlington. Second place goes to Too Close to Call. We'll just say that. How about second and third? Too Close to Call. Blake Hensley and Jonathan Swartz rounds out your top 5 here at Darlington.
We're definitely going to have to wait on the official results. But congratulations, GT Hawkins, locking himself in to the round of 8 here tonight. Results on the board. GT Hawkins rolling off with the race win for Cornerstone Motorsports and locking himself into the second round, the round of 8. It's going to be GT Hawkins. Keith Hackney does pull it off by almost exactly a tenth over Frankie Barroso. Blake Hensley, Jonathan Swartz, your top 5. Then it's going to be Brandon Holder, Scott Fritz, Sean Kaiser, Matt Grenier, Alex Huffman, your top 10. Sean Kostricha and Jonathan Atkins, your top 12.
Rounding out 13th tonight be David Farmer and Brandon Robertson 14th, James Silverson 15th. Then you got Dustin Renstead on turn 1 racing coming home in 16th. 17th be Nick Mills, the Weaponized Motorsports. And then you have Brian Terry in 18th. 19th be Mike Peters. 20th be Chuck Blake. 21st be Justin Winters tonight. And Jason Bridges rounds out the 22nd spot. Then you got Mikey Neal Jr. in 23rd. And Travis Twitty rounding out your field here with the Bluegrass Cup Series. We'll be right back after these commercials with post-race interviews. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Iracing Series. The Cup Series. Tonight, GT Hawkins picking up round number 1 of the playoffs here at Darlington, the throwback race. Keith Hackney, he came home in second. He won last night in the Xfinity Series, so 1-2, not too bad for him. As GT Hawkins is with us, congratulations on your win. You were kind of dominant all night long once you were out front.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second.
You know what this? I'm just as GT Hawkins. We're holding on for him for just a second. You know, it's like a phone call. You know, someone calls you, you answer the phone, and go hello.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. I was just joking around. It's like one of those phone calls. You get if someone calls you, and you answer, go hello, and they're like, "Can you hold for a second?"
I was just checking to make sure you guys were there.
We're here. We're live and in person here in the Bluegrass booth. Well, GT Hawkins, congratulations on that win. You had a fast hot rod all night long. Did that green-white checker kind of worry you any at all?
Yeah, most definitely. Both of the last two cautions worried me. I knew I was going to have to race for it at that point, but I just got fortunate when we pit at this stage, and my teammate Blake, I think he was speeding on pit road, which gave me the lead, and once I had clean air, it was a whole lot easier. So it just let me manage my stuff for the entire run, and I just kind of put it on cruise control for most of the race until the last 3 laps, and I had to wheel it again. But now it was good fun, good clean racing with everybody. I appreciate everybody here.
Well, so this kind of eases you because you're in the next round. So we go into Talladega. What's the mindset for next week?
Yeah, I don't know if stage points matter at all or how that works, but yeah, I mean, always good to go into a plate race and have not have to race for it. So I'm looking forward to it, and just gonna either help out my teammates or go for another win.
All right, go ahead. Thank those fine sponsors making it all possible for you.
Yeah, thanks to Glory Pole, my teammates Cornerstone. Appreciate those guys. Jason and everybody at Bluegrass for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting. Appreciate you. And all my friends, family out there watching. Thanks.
All right, that's GT Hawkins winning round number 1 here at Darlington as we head to Talladega next week. BJ Duvall caught up with your second place finisher tonight. Keith Hackney.
That's right. I've caught up. That's right. I've caught up with the driver, the 69, Keith Hackney. Man, what a run you put on here tonight. There for a while, it looked like he's going to be able to pull off 2 straight wins here at Darlington. One last night in the Xfinity and one here tonight in the Cup.
Yeah, we had a fast car. I absolutely hate these cars. I think they're garbage. But we're in the playoffs and we got to run for the sponsors, so that's why we're here. It was okay at the beginning. I got comfortable. Like last night, and I about took the lead almost around the same time as well. And I'm sitting here calling out on the radio. I'm pitting, and one of the guys, he didn't have nowhere to go, but the second guy just sort of blocked my lane when I was trying to get down, and it threw me off, and I ended up missing pit road and just all kinds of stuff. So that has got me behind the 8 ball. And, and me and Hensley, we got into it coming out of 4 by accident. So that put me in a wall a little bit. And then I spun out on pit entry right there late in the race. And then right before the green, white, checkered shenanigans. So no comment on that. I'll leave that for another day. But good points tonight. And I couldn't catch GT. Like, I burnt my stuff up trying to run with him right there at the end. And now I feel like what everybody else felt behind me last night. So, we'll take it. We'll move on. Good points tonight, like I said. Get us set up for next week. Obviously, I hate Dega. But we'll go with it. Congrats to GT on the win, too.
All right, we'll go ahead and thank you, sponsors. Shout out to everybody who helped make it possible.
Just Cornerstone, Weaponize, NLR, NH Lens, Custom Cabinets by Keith, Elite Performance, Dominator Designs. I forgot to shout him out last night on the beautiful Earnhardt replica, and tonight Gordon's replica. So huge shout out to him for doing that. And I also forgot Outlaw Gaming last night. Papa Mike Promotions. Everybody that puts this thing on, y'all for doing what y'all do, and see y'all next week.
All right, and that was Keith Hackney.
Oh, can't forget Tasha. I got to thank Tasha. Got to thank the old lady for allowing me to do this.
Oh, dear. Somebody's looking towards the doghouse tonight.
I know, right?
All right, and that was Keith Hackney. Steve.
All right, coming home in third place tonight is Frankie Barroso. You led some laps here at Darlington, coming home with a podium finish. How about that? The green, white checkers. Did you think you had anything for the top two?
No. I mean, I only got lucky with Keith because he just got tight off of two. But no, I felt like early in the race, I was really good. I mean, I was literally just saving fuel and just able to save tires and just stay out front of Mikey and everybody else. Just let them go and whatnot. Just try to save fuel. But as it kept getting cooler and cooler, the car just kept getting really tight, and especially early in the run, and it would hurt my short run speed a good bit, and kind of my advantage of being able to keep up during the day while also being able to save the tire quickly fell away. But either way, I'm still happy for P3.
You definitely had a good run here tonight. Normally, you're really good at the road courses, and to see you up front having a good run, I mean, that really is tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there were like 7 more road courses, but unfortunately, there's just the one. But yeah, I don't know. I've always liked Darlington. I don't know why it's for whatever reason. Like, I think a couple times ago, like when I was just racing some guys and whatnot, something just clicked, and ever since that day, I've just been really fast here. I don't know if it's just me being better as a driver, me being better as a driver, meaning like a little bit more patience, because this place definitely takes some patience, that's for sure. But I don't know. But I'm happy it got me P3.
Well, congratulations. Go ahead, thank those fine sponsors, Frankie.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Units. If you're ever in the Northeast area, if you're in if you need to move some things, like for your new apartment or house, check out units.com. I believe they sponsored Timmy Hill this past weekend in the Truck Series for Atlanta. So happy to have him aboard, and thank you to Steve for making the paint, Steve Tucker. And thank you for my teammates, Scott and Mo wasn't here tonight, but I'm happy for P3. Could have been P2, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right, Frankie Barroso coming home in third place tonight. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't know. While we were interviewing Frankie, I thought about cutting in because, BJ, I'm not sure if you heard. I mean, you should have seen it, but $1,200 got thrown in quarters in front of us. Did you not hear the change sound?
No, I can't say that I did.
Because you're deaf and blind.
Yes and yes.
Jason, I mean, it was fun. I was talking to him. Now, I was going to cut in and say, breaking news, Jason just threw the quarters at us. He said we broke them. And now we're going to have to rob Paul to pay Peter, so that way Daniel Paulus can be his expert admin analysis for next week, especially for Talladega. He's going to need it. Especially if we have another close finish like we did in the Truck Series at Daytona. Wouldn't that be something too? Track races with very, very close finishes? Photo finish?
That it definitely would. We saw the closest one I've ever seen just a couple weeks ago at Daytona, I believe it was, in the Truck Series. Yeah, it definitely would be crazy to see another one.
All righty. Well, we're going to conclude this broadcast. I'm Steve McMillan along with BJ Duvall. We're going to sign off, say good night. We'll see you next week at Talladega.